And before we start today's festivities, I'd like to thank Manco.store for sponsoring KritzKast, letting us do our job. If you want to find some cool stuff and either buy one scrap or fill your inventory thousands worth of holy mackerel, do check them out. It's going to be an awesome website. Awesome that they're helping us out. And, well, we're getting ready. Denmark versus Finland. Sixth edition of ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup. Domaytoe, who will win this?
Well, since you already... Oh no, you dodged actually taking a pick, never mind. So I'm going to go quickly and just have it easy for people to chastise me afterwards, and
Yes.
I'm going to... and I'm actually going to go for the, I feel like, a bit more underdog team. I think Denmark is probably the favorites here, even though just like the slight favorites, and I'm going to go with Finland, as we do go live right now, so... Quickly, everybody, just keep your eyes peeled to the action as the first mid-fight does unravel.
And we're going to be watching both demos, obviously, clashing out in the middle. Skyper a little bit faster than Dr. Phil, but he's also taking a lot of damage, and he's going to get taken down by Cake. That's the first kill of the game. Always important to get that opener, and that's on the demo man, so it couldn't have started better for the red team here, Denmark.
Faster to mid, faster to respawn as well, though. There comes the stabs from the pick classes and the power for the sniper as well. The combo instantly very weakened on the Danish side, and just so passive, like, play stance from both teams here.
Quite passive right now. Nobody really walks on the point right now, and they're allowing the red team to kind of get their bearings together. Red team being the Danish, Finland being blue. Kind of fitting if you ask me right now. Skyper is taking some nice damage. Then Oli McNando picking up there. 2 kills. Ripe is also finishing Valish. That's 3 down. Uber's coming out, and they're going to cap this point.
Well, that was just insane. McNando was in, and Peter just looked at him, and then he just wiggled about like around Peter, and then killed Dr. Phil, and then Peter just popped completely onto nobody, just wiggled like to the finish side of the map and saw, oh, there's nobody from my Danish players there as well. So just strong spy performance coming in there from before the pick, managing for Finland to grab this first cap of the map.
They're gonna definitely use that to their advantage. They're also working towards a nice cozy 20% advantage onto Gauze right now. They're holding quite aggressively. Yuno on the side as well. He's gonna take down Tops. No, he gets away, hits that health back, and he's back to speed, but neither team really losing or gaining any ground at the moment. Of course, it's working in favor of the Finnish team. Yuno on the side getting slightly damaged as well. So is Gauze behind the point. Kind of aggressive stance from the blue team, but they also have the Uber advantage, and they have pick advantage too.
They're just working off the sniper advantage they're getting all the time. They won that very decisively because they picked off Cake, and then after that killed Dr. Phil like the fight before, and right now just Cake gets immediately headshot once again, and Oli does have the free reign, and we can just see once they get the sniper frag, they just walk forward and actually claim the ground, even though both teams are still kind of passive considering their sixes like playstyle, but Oli does go down right now.
Yeah, it's a good pick there, opening up a lot of room for the other team here. Skyper's actually low on health there, he's gonna go down, and Gauze has 100% allowed Peter to reclaim his as well, but only 5 people to push, where they are not to worry about this, Denmark, and they're going in with that. They're using the Ubercharge, but so is the blue. It's kind of a stalemate going on the point. It seems that Denmark will be using Ubercharge to get away, but they're gonna have faster respawns, and will be able to dry push this point right after the phase.
Yeah, they're going aggressively in now. Really good, strong performance because they don't even lose players. They haven't kept yet, though. They're getting kept at bay, and the Pyro's going to burn the pretzel on the right side. Does survive, though. In the end, it was really good Uber-management from the Finnish team. The shot, though, onto the lash, still denying that point. Really good, like, aggression from the Danish team, but they are still not able to find anything.
Yeah, here Top's trying to get some damage on the flank, but he's gonna get spooked out by Nuthouse and actually finished off as well. But the point has been finished by Dr. Phil there. Almost taking a bullet for his trouble. He's allowing to, well, heal up from Peter and go back into the action this time around. Peter has nice advantage, but he's being taken down there by Skyper, who says no to that. And they're gonna go walk on the point free of charge right now, finishing off any stragglers left over from the Danish team. And nice and cozy, 100% advantage.
You can see that they don't even need an Uber for that, because that point, as you said, was literally free of charge, because you just walk forward when you get the frags with your explosive spam classes into their main. They're still kind of passive. It's really good to see, because it's like tactical. They're waiting for these picks, they're waiting for these advantages. And the problem is, right now, the Danish team is just getting put onto the back foot, because they do have to walk on the point. And when they've kept the point, they're still on long respawn waves, you know, and they're just going to get instantly repushed.
Yeah, it's a big problem for the Danish team. They're losing players one by one before they even get to the point. Wiethoofd grabs himself a nice kill onto the scout. He's gonna catch us also some flames to the face. But right now, still, Gauze on 100%. He doesn't have to worry too much about anything just yet, but he's being really low right now on health. He has to pop that Uber charge, and that is the signal for Peter to get the hell out of there. They're not going to be able to finish him off, but the point is almost capped by the red team. Pretzel walks in, W plus him one. He gets a lot of kills there. Divvy also, but Skyper, hero play. He stops it for a second. Uber coming out of the red team, but they're going to be able to finish this point, but there's a lot of time left on the red timer. Skyper going in. He's looking for Peter. He's going to get finished though by Cake, and that will be the end of that defense. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, Domaytoe.
Oh my, I was getting ready to just completely rumble up the round then just get my finishing thoughts, but just by the brink they actually do pull it back, the Danish team right now, and they cut it that kind of well, and the problem was the pair wasn't really cold, so you could just have all the flame particles onto different players. They kind of could have maybe coordinated that because Divvy was just right there, but he probably didn't have the call. Was just very strong performance there by the Pyro getting into the flank, but Toast does get the shutting down frag onto Ollie. They do lose some players here though, just to the spam once again.
Yeah, and Peter has a much better Uber right now in terms of percentage, of course. And they lost 2 players, 3 players actually. They're Toast managing to kind of equalize that on the right pay. But I don't think it's gonna work out too much as Skyper's already aggressive. Uber's coming out of the red team. They're trying to chase the enemies off, but Dragons is there to reflect everything's coming their way. They're gonna be able to save Gauze from certain death, and that 90% is gonna come in crucial. Flash is just battling Nothouse on the flank, but he's having trouble hitting those meat shots. He's gonna get some help from Tobbs and finishing off that scout. But Gauze 100% right now, and they're gonna be able to use it on the point really aggressively, get rid of the opposition, and get themselves the first point of the game.
Yeah, most probably. I mean, they do have to walk onto this point right now. They don't get cap time here. They're actually playing in spot because just taking up the heavy sniper point blank. Cake does not get anything. There comes Spy though, trying to get something. They do get cleaned up finally. Their lash, final shots coming in, but no, they say to him, and there goes the first point for the Finns on this map. Finn equals win, question mark, we'll have to see. But Jake, when you just you know, and just look at it, it was just a really strong, like 2 times they won the sniper battle, then they won like a really good Uber fight, and then it was actually close again because like they almost got the wipe on them, but well, in the end they played it well to their advantages, so that definitely does give me the hope that this will be very technical.
Yeah, this time around, Skyper is a little bit more defensive. He's learned his lesson right now. Well, he's also looking for some kills there. Dr. Phil and Cake going down. Divvy follows. That's 3 down for the red team. I don't think they'll be able to push this in. By the way, Toast manages to get a nice stab on this Skyper, slowing this offense down, but not enough to actually stop it from finishing off. Nando in a very good spot. He's looking for the kill on the medic. He's gonna get it! Peter going down!
Well, do we have like, I feel like we have the Dia show of the last round already, because this is literally what happened on the last round. And it's literally like, Cake dies again to Ollie, it's just a pick class, it's like getting 3 frags, then the flank walks forward, and then they just get them instantly on the respawn wave again, so instantly putting the Finnish team on such a strong perch, honestly. And then there comes the step, just as I finish my sentence, so Jake, they're literally playing the same, and as it's looking right now, it is still favoring Finland.
Yeah, Denmark needs to figure out something new if they want to continue doing the same exact thing. Dobbs here on the flank, lone health, he's still securing that flank with Toast and Thalash, but you know, just them are not going to work out too much. Toast finds himself a nice kill into Skyper. That's the second one in a row in his life. And now, good work there. McNando also going down. That's 3 down for the side of blue. They do have the Uber charge to work with, and the control of the point we're going to use to block it from getting capped. Trying to chase up the enemies, but there are too many bodies out there, and the medic is too well protected. Now Peter will have 100% charge. Gauze somehow survives out of this mess that they've caused. Only 3 up for the side of blue. And the point will go towards Denmark this time.
Tops won that fight, and people might wonder why he didn't get any kills. No, but he completely claimed the concrete area completely by himself, just pressuring out Juno and then getting all the explosive damage onto Ripe, which just created another opening, another flank that they had to worry about. So they won the clash to clash, like head-to-head fight before, but then Tops just created a different flank, and that actually worked out for the Danish team as they are in the grasp of actually holding this point. A bit more. Peter does get forced though, or something. It didn't chuck it down. Sorry.
The Uber charge is coming out of Beater. He survives somehow. He saves some of his team. But McNando's in the background there. Takes down Cake. He's chasing off Beater away. Back to spawn almost. He's still away. No, turn around. What are you doing? He's going down again. Beater is dead and down for the count. Finns are securing themselves yet another point here, Domaytoe.
Yeah, well, that just once again crumbled when Beater, I don't know if he got forced or like they instantly flashed their explosive classes. This is usually when you have the call that the enemy team is just close and you want to catch them out, because they did have uber advantage, but in the end it just got kited. Then they got re-pushed on, and then they paused Jake, so maybe they are trying to figure out new strategies, even though that is, I think, still resentment from, like, previous seasons, you know, because these days it's just people timing out, but back in the day people actually paused to talk about strategies.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember those times, and they were a long time ago. I think just kind of TF2 is a game where you go with the flow, or you lose your game with, well, gusto, as some might say. But for right now, both teams paused. Of course, we don't know what's going on 90 seconds in the future. So far, so good for the Finnish team. They're in control of the point. They have the advantage. They also are leading with a 1 point in total on this map, Domaytoe. Denmark needs to figure out somehow how to kind of dismantle this, because as far as I can see, Finland is not really making any mistakes. Of course, they're losing players sometimes to the likes of Thalash, to the likes of Toast, Cake, but in the end, I mean, they work together as a unit, whereas Beater kind of takes a little bit too much spam there. He's a little bit too aggressive when he shouldn't be. And also, McNando taking him down twice this game already is slowing down that offense coming out of Denmark.
Exactly, and just getting onto that thought, I don't want to single out, I'm really against singling out players in general, and I don't think you should ever do that, but you have to consider that Beater was not the main medic for the rest of this, well, not for the rest of the playoff stage, but for the group stages essentially, so we don't even know if he will continue playing for the team. It also obviously depends on the results of tonight, but just having a medic in there that is maybe not so much used to like playing in the team definitely does put you onto the back foot in some way. It means usually, though, because they are experienced players, that you maybe get, you know, set onto the back foot early on, but maybe you can actually recuperate and get your strategies out once you get comfortable during and as long as the game progresses, because this is where, like, it just really shines that people are good. In general, though, I think the pick classes really do open up a lot of space for the Finnish team, and Danish team actually had great success and won when they just created another flank on concrete, but then that only advantage situation was gone when, I don't know if Beater got forced there or they just wanted to get aggressive with an uber advantage that got kited though.
Yeah, it's a rough situation for the red team as of now. I mean, look at those Uber percentages. Beater so far behind Gauze, and the problem is that Finland's also holding the point. So at that point, if you're Denmark, what you're deciding to do is just simply go for the enemy medic, try to get him to force, allowing your medic to have that advantage. But the problem is Finland is not going to just stay behind and not retaliate. What they're gonna do is they're gonna invest Nuthouse, Yunu, and the likes of Skyper to just simply bomb the hell out of Beater, take him down, at least get him out of the situation, and make sure that Gauze respawns in time and maintains that equal Uber advantage. Because if you have that Uber advantage, even slight one, and you're in control of the point, you have a very good chance. So right now, the point in case for Denmark, take down Gauze. He's not dying nearly as often enough as Beater, and I think this is what's hurting Denmark a lot.
More often than not, in those product games where medic dies a lot, it can also mean that the team actually does win, because medics dying on product is more often than not result of a team playing very aggressive, because as a medic you have to have the choice, like you have two choices: either you walk forward with your team and give them the heals, and then you almost 100% die because you have to walk into so many people, and it's really easy to kill a medic genuinely, and because a lot of people just can't do that on this game mode. And the other choice is just you stay back and you just avoid a bit of spam, but then your team needs to be aware of that, because otherwise they're just getting bit baited in forward positions and die without actually having heals. So that's kind of the issue. Like, you can have your medic die a few bit more times than the other medic and still win, but they're like, it's not that situation for the Danish team right now. It's more like they're getting kept at bay, they're getting picked off a bit, and then their only uber advantage push, as I don't want to repeat all the time, like got just kited, and they maybe need to have a bit more flank routes to get their flank in from behind and actually do pressure them. They don't even have to kill Goss as the game does go live, but they do have to get him out of this like really comfortable position he's in.
Yeah, I mean, Goss can just pop his Uber charge, and it seems, I mean, do you hear that, Domaytoe? I think someone's speaking about a tactical pause after the round is over. A technical pause, just to make sure everybody is okay. Goss there beginning a little bit of a pressure going on to him. He's half health there. That's a little bit of a risky situation to be in, as I mentioned, he eats himself a sandwich, still controls the point with the rest of his team, but Peter is not too far behind right now. 75% onto him. He's moving in, but you lose one player there. Actually, Thaj just respawned, but Peter's going down!
Completely trapped out in main. Like the Scout and the Engineer Bloodis and Nuthouse do a really good job on just like realizing that they're just on this point, and they just look at Peter, and then, well, why is he alone in main? They just walk in with hit scan, kill him, and Dr. Phil gets killed in the tail, and so there's actually no suicide wave that could go onto Goss, or if there would be one, that it would be very much unsuccessful as the pipes from Skype are coming in. He has the S as a dollar sign as he's just cashing out, getting the pipe onto Cake, and he's going into the respawn queue as well.
Still, that 100% advantage has not gone away, but he's not been used right now. Going into the red team, they're trying to finish off everybody. They do take down Peter, so he's not even given the chance to build his Uber at this point. That's 5 down on the side of red. Old courtesy, 2 finished teams. Kuiper leading the charge. Right Bay really aggressive as well. And that second point of the match, of the map, is going down the way of Finland. Domaytoe 2-0 right now. One more and Finland will win their map pick.
This is how fast product can go sometimes. Mignano, they're getting, Toast getting the stab there just for slog onto Goss in the last second. But this Uber was just instantly in, and then the Soldier also came in really strong performance, and Peter was just instantly, completely munched. And we have to watch right now though. Juno does jump behind on the left. He's just jumping, he's just distracting, but nothing is coming in. He does survive actually. And both teams very passive. Juno is the first one to die on this.
But Mignando takes down Peter, and that's a good opener there, and the rest of the Finnish team is just following through the amazing pick. They're taking out a few players, however. Gauze is half health. He decides to be a little bit more safe than sorry at this point, and now it's the last time to shine. He takes down the 4th kill in his current life, allowing the red team to re-establish themselves on the point, but they don't have those heals and will have to fall back at this point. Peter just respawned and has a 100% disadvantage onto Gauze, which means that Finland will take the first cap of the 3rd round and will start working their timer down.
Well, don't beat me to it, but it's not actually beta anymore. It is a One Flower as just immediately joining into the game. The actual main medic from the from the group stages, so we know where the pause came from. But One Flower, hello, what a fantastic beginning to your life. Just instantly getting killed, they're getting picked like a flower, essentially dying a 3rd time in the row now. Just getting picked off constantly and losing their medic, losing 2 to the mini sentry as well.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting situation right now for the Danish team. I'm not sure what's going on, but they really need to revamp their strategy and try something different because it's not working so far. Now Yuno is also on the flank doing some major work. I mean, he's not really getting those kills I'd like to see, but he's denying a lot of space from Thalash, and that's what's most important. Thalash can be so dangerous if you let him through and you don't notice him, because he's not known to miss those shots. And right now, Finland's still very comfortable in their position. One Flower now, 50% Uber charge, 100% onto Gauze, still in control. They're Ubering on the point, they're trying to finish off the opposition. They're gonna take down One Flower, fully going for Thalash. Oh no, Divvy Phil also going down. There's a lot of picks on the side of Denmark yet again by Finland. And 1.5 minutes left on the clock.
What a rough game for Denmark, honestly, especially for them, like poor people having to heal their players, because I was just about to say, okay, they can walk forward now, they can actually get spam onto Gauze, try to force him, but no, just a pick class, just say no. We get 2 frags and we just walk instantly onto them, kill everything. That is just so insane to see as they just sync up so well on all of this. And Tops also goes down to Riper, so instantly weakened onto this, once again onto this repush, and they still have 20 to 30% disadvantage, so there need to be some absolute lightning rods right now.
Yeah, they need to get those picks in the beginning before it goes in, and they do get them. That's 3 down on the side of red. One Flower doesn't have his Uber yet. And, well, it's not gonna look like he's gonna get it anytime soon as he's losing players left and right. Uber's coming out of the blue team as well, following through. They're trying to finish off any stragglers that are left on the battlefield. 50 seconds left of the clock. Tick-tock. It goes, guys. You gotta hurry up with this. Unfortunately, Oneflower is still respawning, but they do have the player advantage. That a respawn wave is coming in quick. If you don't have the point, they're gonna finish it off soon.
The heads have dropped again. Well, Danish team is claiming the point right now, but their heads have kind of dropped. You can just tell from them playing like they don't play like they could win this anymore, because it's... Before I was kind of, well, almost apologizing for calling the medic out for dying, but they still stand aggressive, you know, with this uber disadvantage, just die constantly, and once again, they're just getting picked off by the flank, by the spam, and they still stand aggressive because they have to, but it's just not working for them.
No, it's not. They only have one chance, one opportunity to make it. The points being pretty much given away for free by Denmark. What a nice gift for them, but it's not Christmas yet. It's 6 months away, guys. Divi still moving in with the rest of the team. Both medics finally on equal Ubers, and let's see which one actually uses it first. It seems the blue team has much better Uber charge. They're sharing it nicely. A lot of kills going down the way of the blue team. Finland is absolute Winland right now. They're taking down players one by one, only two up. Kick is looking for the kill on Gauze, but he's gonna get pressured out. Oh, but he gets one as a kind of a prize for his trouble. He's looking for one, he gets it as well, but that's just for the logs, guys, as they win the game. Finland with a 3-0 sweep over Denmark, moving into the second map.
What a way to start your playoff stages. Essentially on, and actually probably spurs them on a lot, because as I was saying, maybe the slight favorites here, Denmark, well, I don't know if it was so much of a mix-up just for them to not being used to like beta, and then they just get completely rolled by this forward aggression. Also, in the last few seconds there, unlimited better Uber for the Finnish team, as the Danish team actually tried to get cheeky and use crits, but well, crits against Uber charge, basically never gonna win. They tried something. I like that, because that actually shows that they still probably have some fight back in them. And right now, Jake, it shines if they have the mentality to win this, and if they're brave gamers and just going to put that map in the, well, to the back of their heads, if they even want to think about that. I don't 100% do have, I have to check back quickly who actually picked the map once again, because short-term memory, you know how it is, but just don't focus on the first map anymore, Danish team. Just focus on Upward.
Yeah, to take a quick look at the logs before we move into the second game here. And logs do not lie, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, 6 players occupying the top 6 places from the Finnish team with 20 kills all the way down to 14 by blood. As next was Divi, the heavy weapons guy with 13 kills for Denmark. I mean, it kind of shows that, well, Finland is just on another level. But then again, this was their map pick. This is what they're most comfortable on. So there's definitely notes to be taken away from this for the teams that will have to fight them. Right now, Denmark losing this one. Gonna take a quick look at the medics as well. And this time around, no drops, which is surprising enough. That is product, and that is a map known for those medic drops. Gauze with a nice 9 Ubers. Beater and Oneflower combined only 6, and also out healing both of them is Gauze. So he's, as a result of staying alive a much longer time here, Domaytoe, he's been able to provide those heals to the team, and the team has been using them efficiently. Kind of sad that Thalash wasn't really putting up as much of a fight as he usually does in 6s. He's kind of been outshone by Nothouse and Juno on the flank, just blocking his path to the back line, and it worked out for them perfectly. But right now, we're moving into Peel Upward. This is Danish pick. This is the map they're comfortable on, so I'm 100% sure they're gonna see some amazing strategies coming out of them, and we'll at least see them kind of winning 1 point here. Even if they manage to get 2 points, we'll see Gullywash as well. We don't know yet. I mean, it's been pretty decisive by Finland, but Denmark is not out of it yet.
And the strategy they used on product, funnily enough, is probably going to work on upward as well for the Finnish team, because I'm not someone who lingers on locks, but apparently I right now do. Because if you just look at it, you said like 2 players that are not on top for the Finnish team, and those players were, well, Dragons, he was just protecting his medic non-stop, so this is what a Pyro is supposed to do. And then Juno just claiming and staying alive, not getting a lot of frags, but just denying all the space on concrete. So they just get that, the rest of the player just walk forward, get all the frags, and then when you actually do look, but I don't think we can show the exact picks they're getting, but the Danish team just didn't get any like vital frags to push off, and it can definitely well put them onto the back foot on upward as well.
No, they did not, but now it's a new map, it's a new fresh mindset as well. You know, when you change your surroundings, you always come with a new fresh mindset into the game, and let's hope that works for the Danish team right now. We're having a kind of an extended pause as well. Probably they're working out some kinks, some strategies, some things, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, pretty decisive by Finland, but what do you think is going to happen on upward? Do you think Denmark has it in them to get this one down and maybe go to the third map?
Well, Oneflower is going to say, okay, boys, we are here right now, and we are going to do what we practiced all this journey up to this point. Because, as I was saying, just don't think about the first map anymore. It's upward right now, and you are on the defense, so you can just have a strong defensive route, and that definitely helps you with getting the motivation up when you just get a very long defensive time.
But right now, still waiting for both teams to ready up. I'd like to remind you there's plenty of ways you can support us here on KritzKast. There's a subscription button. There's Amazon Prime. There's merch.kritzkast.store or com. And there's also Manco.store that is sponsoring us. Plenty of ways you can support us. You can choose and pick whichever way you prefer.
Well, you can, and the only thing you cannot buy there is first place, Nations Cup medals, so you actually have to fight for them in those cups. I don't even think there are medals, so just going to, show to all your friends how good you are, and actually playing in nations teams, which can definitely be a motivator for people to play this. But yeah, once again, we'll have to see, like, if they can stop them here a bit more decisive actually on this forward pressure phase, the Danish team, the Finns that is, then I think they do have a chance. Otherwise, they're probably just going to get pushed back to oblivion.
Yep, and I think this will be the case. I mean, there are some players on the Danish team that have not woken up yet from their deep slumber. Names of Dr. Phil here. Oneflower actually substituting Beater. I'm not sure what is the story behind it. I would love to know. But for now, we're just going to speculate that Beater was not feeling too comfortable, too healthy, or maybe simply no synergy there. Oneflower will try to fill in those big shoes left by the Danish legend. But it seems that we are getting back into the action. This is KritzKast, ETF2L Season 6 of the Nations Cup, powered here by KritzKast and Manco.store. I'm your host, Jake. Today with me on the co-casting desk is no other than Mr. Domaytoe with Wiethoofd on production, as we're about to start this game shortly.
Just to have a nice framework, by the way, I do think it's a fruit, actually. I don't 100%. Maybe it comes across wrong in like translations, but I'm 100% sure what it is in German, but I can just blame it if it's not actually a fruit. That's just translational issue. Anyway.
I mean, isn't it like a social thing now that you just you just say what you are and you're that? If you decide to be a fruit, I mean, I'm not blaming you. You can be a fruit if you want, no harm done. You can be whoever you want. You can be a vegetable if you really want as well. I mean, or you can also be some kind of sweet. I'm not judging.
Well, I can tell you what I'm definitely not. I'm not a medic who uses Uber on pregame to pad his stats.
Ooh, big shots coming out. Who was that?
Well, Oneflower is doing that right now.
No, despicable. You didn't do that.
Well, they want to actually do get Ubers. The problem was, like, in product, once again, they didn't get, like, enough Ubers, they didn't get enough openings just to push in, so we'll have to see how they do that on that map right now. There are actually suicides, I really like that. They don't even need to do that anymore for the engineer, and Oneflower actually does, like, shoot an arrow and take the ammo away from the engineer, so I feel like he's being very cheeky right now.
Just a bit of a friendly BM going on, but this is what you need in this team right now. They need to kind of get that wind back in their sails as the gates are about to go down. The horses are about to leave the spawn with Finland attacking first. Yunu's already out there, and he's getting ready with Skyper to jump in. Skyper going sky high. He's hitting the skybox using the bowl sack right now, and he's not gonna get will be able to get anything. They do get down Cake though, so that's gonna open up a lot of room for their own sniper to work with Ollie. Maybe we'll get some headshots, maybe won't, but it's only one pick for the size of 4.
Yeah, they do get a sniper pick. That's very crucial. They maybe even try to get the medic with it, but you know, which medic drops to parachute in the air? Anyway, they do get the Cake sniper down. There's actually nothing happening though. He goes down once again.
No! Bull sack number 2! Skyper is trying to get that sentry down, and he does get it! There, unfortunately, McNando, with the help of that, they're gonna take him down with a nice air shot though. It was assisted. It's kind of like riding a bike with 2 additional wheels, guys. You know, it's not easy to get a guy down who is using a parachute, but the sentry has gone down. Domaytoe card is slowly moving its way forward, and Gauze is about to leave spawn.
And also just a pyro who didn't get shot. This poor one flower, probably Cake going down the 3rd time in a row now from McNando. It's the worst life he's probably having. Someone needs to pick him out. There comes the Uber advantage push from the front.
Oh yeah, Skyper's going behind, but he's gonna get finished off. No, not before. McNando's using that distraction, taking down 2 there, and Phil is also to follow. That is a complete wipe off the first point, and I think they've done enough damage to even get themselves a second for free.
They actually got some time considering how much they got picked and like constantly killed, and like the advantage is taken away from them. But the problem is right now what you're saying, like they're long respawn waves, they can't even hold this second point, because if you don't get the forward hold in, it's usually that you don't get so much time on the second hold as well. Toast does get a step onto Ollie, but it's actually probably enabling them to take some space. The problem is they still do have Uber disadvantage.
Oh yeah, Toast is leaking. Oh no, he's lurking behind. He's gonna get the medic. He's gets it before the pyro spots him. Toast is absolutely huge right now, and he takes down the medic. Crucial timer for the red team. They may be able to reclaim that second point. It's not that far forward just yet. They lost their sentry, but the engineer is alive. 1 flower as well, and they will be able to maybe re-establish themselves. And look at this, they're getting quite aggressive up there. They maybe even get the top of the hill as well from this.
Wonderful, they got Ollie, and then they just took all the space that just enabled and was given to them. Toast is an 8k right now, killed Skyper as well. So he's just, well, he got the important sniper frag, and then they just all fuddled in and just went widely spread just within the healing beam, and actually did claim all the picks, you know, and actually going to stabilize. McNando is still getting some cheeky cap down. They're still not noticing that. What?
Oh no, McNando, you crazy son of a bitch, what are you doing? Red Divvy there in the tunnels there, taking down 2. Cake is gonna get sniped down by Ollie, kind of recuperating from this massive loss on the side of Finland, but seems that Denmark has done their homework and they're doing well. But Nordhaus is on 1 flower right now. He's gonna go down. He broke this man in half.
Well, the flower gets once again plucked by the Uber advantage push. They do lose tops though, and their demo. The demo Skyper onto the offensive phase can actually favor the defensive classes, as just this pick classes come in once again, and the card is rolling back. Bladis does get headshot onto the respawn before he got like air shot, and they're just getting these solo plays in, and there's still there's tops onto Goss and just claims him like that once again.
That is just an easy pick at this point. This is something that they teach in the soldier school to every single little soldier that is about to spawn. Here Skyper's gonna get finished off by Tubbs again. So this man is credit for that. The defense in Denmark is pretty much given a free hold on to second after that disastrous first. And right now they're reestablishing themselves. The sentry's slowly going up. McNando will try to do something about this. He's disguising right now. He's waiting for a good opportunity to strike as well, looking for Tobbs. He's been a major thorn. But right now, still Finland kind of bashing their heads against a wall.
Yeah, Danish team is playing that rotational-wise very strong and wise, because they're just backing off and like, do we want to die on a high ground? Well, there you have the high ground, and right now you're dying because they're just giving up the space and then just kill them with the repush. The only detrimental, as they actually do get forced. That is the kind of weakness. Sometimes you allow some players to come in before. They denied the flank routes very good, but right now they're actually getting forced from the side tunnel.
Yeah, it's a good timing as well. Gauze is about to hit 100% on his minigun. They'll be able to repush this with the rest of the teams. They also have the player advantage. They lost the Lash and Toast Denmark. They do have that sentry, and Sniper is about to rejoin them on the front line as well. They're just waiting for the opportune time to move, and they do get a couple of more kills. It's 3 down on the side of blue, however, and that's a big problem. They're chasing off the red players, though. Card is about to close down on the second point as well, and Uber has come out of Gauss to stop it from rolling in, but there's a lot of red players lurking around. They're just catching some kills. Gauss! Oh.
Well, they reclaim the ground. There's only Spy. Spy on Spy, actually, easy game, come on. Well, there are a lot of other red players there as well, so no blame onto Mignando decloaking there, but he was basically dead. I like this play stance, but you have to like watch the big rotations, but the problem is it kind of diminishes the amazing plays these players individually do. Like, they get air shots and everything constantly. Nuthouse found the like skybox, then got flashed before he reached the ground and just instantly meat shot some players on the ground. Right now though, they're just claiming this ground here on the Finnish side.
Yeah, and Card is rolling back, but the red team is moving in. The red Uber is coming out of the Gauss. They're trying to clean up house there with Dr. Phil. They do just that, but the problem is that the Card has rolled in already past the point of no return. Of course, that is in mind that it's only the second point. They managed to clean up everyone else. One Flower has decided to get back with the rest of the team, reestablish themselves on the third point. Notorious for being very difficult to attack and kind of easy to hold, but one misstep on the side of Denmark and it all could go downhill from there. No pun intended, as Gauss about to hit 100.
Well, Dragons does go down though, and the Heavy wins the Heavy fight there on top. He dies to Mignando on the side flank, but it's such a strong just performance from the defensive Heavy. The problem right now is, like, okay, they use the Uber in and the Spy comes in with a step, so this, well, hold is probably of very short lived.
Oh, Mignando, I mean, that rogue is rolling D20s all night long on that stealth. And Nuthouse just cleaning up Pretzel on the side as well. Dude, looking very, very promising for Finland right now. Denmark was unable to establish themselves on the third. Yunu's going behind. He's going to force out One Flower. That's a huge play by the soldier, allowing Gauss to kind of keep up with the red Medigun as well. His third point looks like that has been forfeited as well. Thalash is trying to pester down Nuthouse and Ripe 1v2 there, but he's going to, well, decide against that. It's a bit too much, even for a scout of his caliber.
6 minutes is a lot of time for like 2 points, but then right now they pushed 1 point in like 1 minute, so it definitely actually does give them a lot of space right now. They do like try one suicide wave. They actually do get cake down. That's a strong play because the card is actually not so far up that it actually matters. They do get spawned, so they don't lose anything. Toaster's decloak probably going to inhibit some card time right now. I like that because Cake right now has to cross the entire like main area once again to get to his combo, so that's an early positional advantage for the offensive team.
Yeah, here Gauss moving in, 100%, but allow One Flower to get his Uber for dangerously close. One Flower is in a lot of trouble, he needs to get over. Ooh, just in time! That was just a race against the clock, but they managed to get it off just in time to take down Ripe. Seems that Gauss has gotten away with his life. That's most important, but what are you doing out there, man? I know you're trying to save your Heavy, but he's gone. You know, you don't have anybody else to save up there. You just want to get out of this. Your life is worth way more than just lowly Heavy.
Sometimes you just have to, well, get that, you know, oath out of your head, out of the back of your head, because sometimes you just have to be a bit selfish. Just say, well, he's dead, but he will respawn in like 2 seconds. He doesn't, like, lose anything. I can lose my UR percentage, though. That is the kind of issue. Right now they're still kind of poking and prodding, trying to get some picks forward. I like the aggressive play stance, but getting a lot of time here actually, as it didn't look before on the Danish side, so definitely some comeback potential.
Ooh, Divvy, huge play, taking out Skyper. He's looking for dragons as well, and he has that help off his medic. One Flower, but they've lost 3 players there. Pretzel tops down. Mignando's working on that sentry. He's gonna get it down with the help of Yunu, but Yorkland is just gonna build up another. I mean, this man has sentries for days. Uber's coming out of the red team somehow. He's getting forced there with One Flower. Divvy is in a bad spot there. He's gonna be able to get on the cart, maybe stop it from rolling in, but there's Thalash there, just Nuthouse just taking him down easy. Yunu is also getting a slap onto Thalash. That's just ultimate disrespect when you kill somebody with a melee weapon.
Right now it's only One Flower trying to get something onto the card, probably going to, well, distract the scout a bit so he doesn't get onto the card, actually buys like 2 seconds or something else. Spy is trying to do something. Skyper dies. The card falls into the pit, does explode. 9 minutes and 32 seconds, that is, for the Finnish team. It's not the worst time in the world. The Danish team will be very happy with the time, and the Finnish team will feel, well, we could have definitely pushed that faster.
Yeah, and definitely. There's some points that Denmark could probably take away from this game. I mean, the first hole, they invested a little bit too much. They've almost lost the second as a result of that, but just by amazing strike of luck, they managed to kind of keep control of it, rebuild there, and hold it for quite a while. Then third was a disaster for them, and last didn't take that long for the Finns to take it as well. So that time, all things considered, is pretty respectable. And now, with confident Danish people ready to go and attack this time around, with Finland defending, is that time beatable, Domaytoe, do you think?
It is beatable. Well, we see once the game and the action actually does unravel on the offensive phase, as they plan to break these defensive holds down. I still want to emphasize, though, how strong the Danish team actually played that on defense the round before, because, as I just said, they just gave up the space, which is usually not what you do so often in a payload, but then they just reclaimed this space so strongly, which actually helped them to get the time needed to actually being able to defend this. And right now Tops gets completely denied from the suicide wave, so that's already 10 seconds bought, you know, you have to start little.
Wow, Ollie just blocking him, and Dr. Phil following him through it, the punch. I mean, he had nothing to lose, gonna get shot down by Blood as his sentry. Very easy pickings there, but the card is slowly moving forward. McNano's feeding some information. Toast is getting ready in the position right now to get something done. He's gonna get found out. Easy pickings there for Nuthouse as well, doing his work. Right now, kind of slow. Phil is jumping in with Hobbs, using the ball sack strat again. It seems that the American tradition is common, European tradition as well. Unusual, but Phil's gonna go down the cliff, but not before the sentry has gone down. It seems that it has taken hold, Domaytoe, like a disease, that strategy.
What a strong suicide wave that was, though. Like, on paper, they just all went in, Soldier, Demo, and Pyro at the exact same time, but really strong defensive positions from the defensive team, just splitting up their resources and actually denying the parachute, just, you know, pushing him further away from the medic and then actually not being able to get anything. There comes a sticky trap, though, onto Divi, killing him, and they probably wanted to get something more, but they're actually getting kept at bay by the Demo man forward.
Oh, they're moving with the Uber charge. They're gonna bash against the red one as well. Dragons on the vanguard of that. They're chasing in with Nothouse, and there's Yunu and McNand on the flank as well, trying to chase off any stragglers that are left over. They do take down one flower, and that goes to the credit of Ollie. Take down two more players as well. It seems that Finland has set and digged their feet into the ground on the first point, and they're not letting this one go, Domaytoe.
It was strong performance from Skyper right there. He stays forward, he gets so much pressure, he gets so much damage, he gets kills, and then he gets the medic forced in a really passive position. He does die, but he only dies by his spy. He doesn't even die by, like, actual damage forward, so good judgment from him. Like, would have almost kept him alive, but the pick class, that completely stalled that Uber. Right now, though, they're losing flank classes.
And flank classes are important here, as they are the ones to push the card if everybody else is pushing the enemy team. Thaj is getting in an aggressive position. He's looking for some kills. He's gonna get some damage on the Skyper and Ollie. He's gonna pass it by Raipe. What? Left, right, but he's not gonna be taken. He's gonna take down Raipe there. It's actually Raipe going down the way of Phil. DV's moving in a very good position, raises as well. Nobody has spotted him just yet. Nobody knows he's there. He's gonna start shooting Ollie. That's a good start. He's gonna try to shoot down the sentry as well. I'm losing my words here. Uber's coming out of Gauss to save the team, but I think that Finland will have to get away from this point now.
One flower doesn't probably know what's around the corner, just pops so they can get aggressive here. It was really good kiting from me, almost was like killed without having actual Uber. There comes the huge pressure though onto the third point, just this flank and everything coming forward.
That is huge right now, Denmark. This is what you're looking for. They got pretty much second point for free. There's only Yunu alive on the red, and that's a complete, pretty much a whitewash, just like a blackboard at school. Now Yunu is moving in behind one flower. He's gonna catch him, and he gets him. He just absolutely smashes this man in the back with that rocket. And maybe, just maybe, will allow Finland to set up a hold on the second. I'm not quite sure, but Denmark will not let this one live.
3 rockets is all it takes. Well, to kill the medic, a bit lacking there with the defensive power. Before, Dr. Pill was just getting the pipes in, but right now they actually do get some cracks once again onto Skyper, and Divi wins the close point-blank fight against Nuthouse on the well, head-to-head there on the high ground. Right now there's just so much clashing here. Divi's still on top, he's winning that high ground battle. Ollie gets sniped and they get completely brute forced out of this third point.
Yeah, brutalization going down the way of Denmark. Thalash is on cause. He's gonna finish off the kill. He's looking for the edge. If he gets the kill, that's huge. He does get it. That's his 7th kill on the side of Thalash. He takes them down and maybe just secure Denmark their 3rd point in this game. 5 minutes left on the clock. It's definitely possible at this point.
They have 1 respawn wave right now. They have to regroup and don't run into this forward hold here right now. They only have 80%. They can actually force him here. Skyper's getting the pressure onto him. Someone needs to support him. He's alone forward against the Tomislav. That's all, like, only one result that will ring out there. He will die. Juno is also dying a bit there on the flank once again. Thalash on 8k, killing Mekanando. They're losing their players. Divi tries to get forward here. He's probably going to get the force. They still have some card time to play here.
Yeah, they need to get that Thalash on the car, but he's too busy chasing kills. But he gets those kills again, and he gets the medic, and he gets the engineer. It's a deja vu from Thalash, taking them down, and the card is almost down the 3rd point here. Domaytoe, they're doing their work, and they finally activated. They've woken up from their hibernation, and they're just taking names right now.
Yeah, Danish Wu is when Thalash walks forward and gets like 5 and 6 kills consecutively, and they definitely do have figured out their strategies right now, and probably looks very promising for them. They still have this 40% advantage, and they do have the positions right now a bit on the defensive side, but well, they're probably going to sweat because this card reaches the crucial area where you actually need an Uber to push through and get the ground once they hit their Uber charge onto the offensive team. So looking very promising for them. They will probably just pinpoint push with this Uber against defensive stance.
Oh yeah, you should definitely use the advantage. If you are given one, just take it or leave it, and they're using it in the staircase right now. Skyper's completely unaware of what's going on behind him as the enemy team is just chasing down their combo out back to spawn, completely taken over, and Skyper has gotten away with his life somehow. He's still up there. What does this man do? He's gonna be able to fight one flower there. Dr. Phil is taking him down, however, and Thalash is on a 13th kill already, and he's just absolutely unkillable at this point. One flare is gonna go down, but a lot of people dead for the side of red right now, and the card is still moving forward.
Yeah, they do get the frags right now, though. Now it shines if they actually want to get aggressive. It's really hard right now to actually claim ground because Skyper just spawns right now, and the offensive team does have the spawns. Skyper does the amazing jump there, just really quick, doesn't die, onto the top. So they actually need to support him right now. Like, he's the flank cluster on top. They're probably going to have a very short-lived hold of this top if they don't have the heals there. So it's kind of a split-up work right now into the cover. We have to see how that rings out. They definitely did recuperate well, though. The card rolls back as well. And One Flower still has some catching up to do on the Uber stakes.
Oh, for sure. The sentry already being built up by the engineer up there. Bloodis is trying to make it happen. Toast is stopping the card from rolling back just in time because it's dangerously close. But the entire window area is free up for grabs for the blue team here. 100% on either side right now. Dr. Phil has low health. He's going to be caught off guard here with the sentry. No more Demo Man for the upcoming future here. Nothouse in the bottom as well, looking for some additional frags, and they're working well in tandem. 2 minutes left on the clock for the Danish team to get this one done and mark it off as the first round won. Thalash, though, is doing work on the cart.
Uber on both sides, and they just get the flank down, and that forces the combo to drop down to the low ground and actually chase frags. Goss dies to a headshot there as well, and there's just a lot of pressure in, and they actually discharged One Flower, but the Lash is still in. He's still 50k. Bloodistow? What is doing? He's getting the crits in on the front flank. You get out of my wrench right now.
Oh, he's still looking for more. They're taking down the soldier, but the rest of the blues are swarming in the point. There's so many reds, but Nothouse is cleaning them all up. 1.5 minutes left on the clock. The blues have been finally stopped, but they're getting their respawns in. They're getting those fast rollouts in as well. Tubbs is working his way. Skyper is kind of pissed off at the situation, but he's gonna catch a sticky or his trouble. Dr. Phil is moving with the rest of the team. There's not a lot of red players available. There's just so much confusion going on. The card is so dangerously close here, Domaytoe. And here, Pretzel is on the card. That's the best class you can have on the card. Nobody's stopping. Nothouse walks on the card. He's going to get pushed away. Too many bodies to work with. Yorkland is claimed by the pit, but there's only blue players alive with 50 seconds left on the clock. Denmark puts themselves on the board.
Yeehaw! Well, Blood is getting in there with a Frontier Justice in the end, definitely helping them as well. And, you know, like, so strong performance from them. I feel a bit like lackluster down there as well by the defense, because they got these huge frags, amazing defense, and then Skyper overcommits a bit. Like, this is sometimes what can happen, like, you know, you get hyped up and everything, and then you want to get aggressive, like, oh yeah, we can push them out, but definitely the offensive team still having the bite, and well, if you push into us, we just completely going to reap you off the side there with our faster spawns, and they did that, so they lacked the kind of denial damage there from Skype, and then just all funneled in. Really nice, strong, almost flank play, I would say, from Pretzel there, just getting the core time, and they just completely worked it off, though. Close still, though, Jake. 1 minute only to spare onto the clock.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a good time for the Danish team. They got themselves a nice advantage, and for the three of you that care about the logs, here they are on the screen. We've bring them up, and there's absolutely no surprise there that Thalash with 30 kills is topping the charts. Second from the top is McNando with 22 and Nothouse with 21. Almost a 10 kill difference between these players, and the rest is history when it comes to the medics as well. One Flower with 25,000 healing, one drop on his side, but also 13 pops. Gauze with 23,000 healing, slightly less, only 9 Medigun pops, so 4 times more pops One Flower had than Gauze did, and that kind of comes in crucial because when you look at the deaths, One Flower has died one more time than Gauze, so I'm not quite sure where those Ubers went, Domaytoe. Alright, don't quite know where Domaytoe went, but it seems that I am left here alone with Wiethoofd, which I'm kind of creeped out by. So I'll carry on with this one. Remember, this is a best of 3 maps. First one went towards the Finnish team, 3-0 on Koth product. Second one right now, which we're watching, PL Upward, 1-0 so far for Denmark. Finland is still in this. They still can win this map and secure themselves a semi-final, telemark, but we'll see how it goes so far. Once again, thank you very much to Manco.store for sponsoring this stream here on KritzKast. This is Highlander Nations Cup, Denmark versus Finland. My name is Jake, and Domaytoe, whenever he comes back, is my co-caster. Here he is! I've been kind of worried, man.
Bit out of commission there, as you said. Like, people who care about logs. My internet connection just was not a fan of logs apparently. And no, we'll have to see though. That's what you did. You just dodged the logs, man. You just dodged the logs. I know what you're plotting. Unlucky is what you call in this scenario. I played with enough Sixes players to know that one. So, second round right now. Danish team definitely in for a shout here, as we saw. They definitely do get hyped up, you know, like get their flank classes forward with the heals and everything. And we'll have a game on our hands right now, and when we almost like already peak a bit at Gullywash, that also helps flank classes that have it together and probably push with their medic. So maybe Danish team very well comprised right now, and Finnish team maybe sweating for their faster journey, like for their further journey, I should say.
I mean, aren't they sweating just because it's a really warm summer this year in Europe?
It's Nordic teams. I just want to say, you know, people often disregard that. But
eternal summer there. Like, eternal sun. Like, for the summer season, man. That's how geography works, right? I mean, you pretty much never have a dark side outside for like 6 months.
What I just want to say is that I think as southern, you know, countries have it a bit harder because it's warmer there. People often disregard that one in summer. The gates to open up right now, though, Jake. What can we see here on this suicide wave?
Ooh, Bolsack coming in right again. No, it's not. Dr. Phil going in dry. He's gonna get destroyed there by Bloodis. Hobbs as well, just getting smashed by Ollie, and Pretzel gonna shut down by Nothouse, so it's a very good hold so far by the Finnish team. Not too much of a sweat going on, as you said yourself. Maybe that cool weather is helping them out in this situation. But the card has been pushed sufficiently far forward for One Flower to leave the spawn and see what happens. Just for the viewers that don't know what I'm talking about when I say Bowl Sack, it's basically when Bowl, the US demo, has used for the first time I've ever seen the parachute strategy and dropped me.
Anyway, Dr. Pill there comes in and says, take your medicine, but they don't take their medicine, Jake. They're just getting completely munched once again, and it's like the second or third suicide wave that reigns inferior and doesn't get anything done.
Yeah, it doesn't look too promising right now. Finland is quite strong on that first hole. They've been strong in the first hole before as well. Skyper getting quite rowdy up there, doing a lot of damage to the enemy team. He's not going to finish off any kills here. Only on a 5k streak onto Cake, so no more sniper for the Blues, but he's going to be back in action at any time, and one flower has left spawn now. They're getting ready to push now, Domaytoe.
Skyper always has this forward play stance, which is really good to force him early, but he always dies from post. Right now that enables him to actually get the Uber, but it's so much better onto the defensive stance here. There's a Pyro. They have to separate a lot. They have a way longer Uber. Let's see what we can make out of this Uber. They're probably going to stay on the front flank here. Juno dies there, Riper as well, so they're losing some strong defensive plus. One flower dies to Ollie body shot, and Goss still lives, but they're probably going to give up the first point, but they still have the players up, probably also on the respawn waves to hold forward.
Yeah, I mean, they lost their medic, but they got their point in, which is the most important thing. Also, 4 players down for the upcoming future for the red team here. Finland is hurting for some players right now. Nice sticky trap by Skyper. He's waiting for those players to come in. Not sure if they spotted it yet. They're moving in close. Pretzel sees it. He's going to blow it away. No harm done. Skyper's getting pressured there by Thalash, but he's going to survive. No, for much longer here. Dr. Phil's coming in, and a lot of heals coming down the way of the blue team. So I thought here, but they're losing some players themselves. That aggressive hold is not quite working out for Finland just yet, but they do have that 20% advantage, so they may be able to hold it just yet.
They're still staying in here. Dr. Phil is actually getting quite weak. They do get the frag onto Mignano there. They just say, well, we can repeat on the second point what happened, what worked on the first point as well, though. There comes the Uber push from the front flank. One flower does survive, but they actually do claim a bit more ground, but there comes the repush, Jake.
Oh no, it's not looking very good for Goss. He's getting body blocked by one flower, but Phil doesn't see him. He's chasing down the heavy. Now he finally causes just in this rock in the hard place, and he's finally gonna go down, but only a long time. And I'm not sure what they plan to do. They lost one flower as a result of that. There's some miscommunication going on, and that has slowed down this aggression coming out of Denmark, and also lost them their medic.
Well, they might actually win that point of that, but I don't like that. That was very iffy having like 2 players and like put all of your trust into one player that walk forward even though you do have Uber advantage. Actually does allow them for like to get the respawns. They're actually not being able probably to claim the ground, but we've seen before when they do get the sniper frag, like they can just claim the ground right now. Ollie dies though. It is a kind of big detrimental to their defensive play stance.
Oh yeah. Oh, your Jotland's getting jumped by Juno, stopping the car from moving forward. Thalash now is getting aggressive. He has enough of what is going on in the red spawn. He's going to chase down Skyper. He's looking for more. He's going to take down Nuthouse. There's one more there. Dragon's going to healed up by Goss. Thalash going to grab himself a health pack. He's still looking for more. 64 HP. Can he do it? Nobody sees him. They know he's there though. He's just now known himself. He's just distracting for the rest of the team. But the damage has been done on the second point. But no, goalie fully scoped. Body shot onto one flower, stopping this offense dead in its tracks. No pun intended. Now Yuna's gonna try to finish off some stragglers. Here goes Divi down. However, the card is kind of far back, so still a lot of dead time, but that allows Goss to maintain that 100%.
Not even considering that he just got body shot down there on the offensive push. One flower. They still shouldn't have pushed there because, as you said, the card was so far back. They wanted to claim ground, but usually you just get punished when the defensive team is playing it well. And they're punishing it further on still, because there are 9 players that try to get like forward pressure, you know, on the card, and it's still like not even up the first ramp. So they're still getting denied. Pretzel dies, everything dies. They might get it like onto the first slope, but it's taking them some time.
Right now, kind of a stalemate going on for both teams. I mean, there's not much to do for the Blues here rather than build their Uber charge and maybe look for some picks. Here goes Thalash on the side yet again. He's trying to pester Skyper, maybe draw some attention. Toast as well, but he's going to get found out by Nuthouse. A little bit of some happy feet going on by the Spy. He's going to be able to pass through the defenses, but he's going to get found out by Juno. Easy pickings there, picking up 2 kills on the flank. Cart is still stopped dead in its tracks. Phil's going to get stabbed as well. And all it takes really is for one flower to get his 1 Uber, maybe try to fight against Goss, maybe not, but seems that Finland has entrenched.
Yeah, the problem is right now, like their suicide wave is getting red. They want to get dry aggression in, but it's not working for them. Before, they played the second point like the first point, because they just get a suicide wave in, which is not a very genuine thing to see in Highlander these days. And they tried to do the same, onto the third point, but it's not happening. The Spy also gets blasted off the cliff right there. Skyper does die though. There comes the suicide wave that actually works this time.
Ooh, and it's working out for them. That's a good exchange, but the sentry is still up by Bloodis. Dragon's trying to push away Dr. Phil. He's gonna get stabbed by McNendo. Just blasted into that knife. Pretty much easy for the Spy Rogue main. Oh, and Yudu finds one flower on behind there, who's just trying to reach the team, but the card is still moving forward. Even though they lose medic every single damn push, they still get it forward, and I think this is the key to victory for Denmark.
Exactly, that is what they were lacking on product. Like, you can't lose your medic, that's not fun for the medic, but you can win by doing that because you just walk forward aggressively. The train is trying to fight here. Tops gets piped. They do get the cap. Skyper gets a 2k. Nuthouse also comes in. There comes a stab on the card. They lose a lot of players here. They do get the card though. It's 6.5 minutes. It's not the fastest time, it's the slowest time. It's kind of an average time, but they definitely have to get something convincingly onto the last point.
Yeah, one flower half health already. He's been pestered there by somebody. Somebody staying behind. Only 4 up for the red team, which means Yuno will be able, or Toms will be able to get forward. They're gonna finish off Yuno in below in the basement. They're moving forward into the windows, pretty much given away for free. There's not enough red people to reclaim this. Stalash is gonna get found out by Nothouse below, but not before he takes down Skyper. So yet another huge damage boost down for the side of Finland. They're hurting for some heals right now as one flare has gone down yet again. Yeah. And Phil's gonna get finished off as well by Ollie.
Nuthouse just claims the medic there as well, and that's actually going to allow them just to take the tracks here. They have to watch out that they don't overcommit. Thelash just about dies. They lose the flank of that a bit though for this transitional area. They want to get the progression into the top once again, and they have to watch out that they don't lose more players, but they actually don't. So that's a good claim of the high ground for the defensive player team. They lost some flank players there, but shouldn't be too detrimental to them because they will spawn in time, and one flower still has some catching up to do on the overstakes.
Yeah, that 50% advantage on the side of Gauze is going to work towards their favor. They also reclaim that spot top. Ripe, however, has some trouble from Tobbs. They're gonna force down the Uber. What a good play by the soldier, but they lose Phil as well, and I don't think that's something they're looked for. Divi is taking a book out of Barthes's, or a page out of Barthes's book, and he's hiding in their staircase, looking for some stragglers. Ripe doesn't see him. He's gonna catch him off guard. Nice, easy pick on the heavy. And they're gonna wait for the team. Nuthouse is there as well. He's gonna catch off the heavy as well. So that's the equalizer they're looking for. 100% onto one flower, only 25 onto Gauze. Uber has been used just to take down that rough sentry by Blood is set up in the balcony. Card is moving forward. None of the red players currently stopping it.
And strong play there from Tops jumping the high ground. Actually gets a lot of space there. Miglano is on the card right now though. Gets some snaps. They're probably going to cap this card just by the sheer force of having a lot of buff players onto the card, even though defensive play stance players were still up, but they got denied there and distracted a bit on the front spawn. It's around 9 minutes. I would still say that's not the best time in the world for a defending team. But then again, on the last point, what we saw there, they actually claimed the ground on the high ground, but then they just got completely brute forced out just by losing their flank once again, a bit off there. So it's a bit harder if you can't hold on to points, obviously, if you just lose your flank by the wayside.
Yeah, this may be kind of difficult for Denmark. I mean, they've only really had a good hold on the second, and now it's just pure sheer luck. This time around, they probably have learned some lessons. Maybe they've adjusted their strategy. Remember that they are mostly consisting of some 60s players playing on an unfamiliar map, aside from some pubs with friends back in the day. So it's gonna be kind of a rough patch for the side of Denmark. Finland looking very, very strong, but then again, this is the pick of Denmark. They're already leading with 1 point, and this could possibly lead into the third map we're gonna see today.
Well, Jake, in group stages it's luck, in playoffs it's obviously skill, because you practice for that, So you just have to watch right now what Finnish team, if they want to finish this round in their favor, because then it's 1-1 and they still have one shout onto the third map. But Cake instantly dies. Not what you want to see in the defensive team.
Bolsack coming in again. Skyper is taking down the sentry easy. He's looking for some more damage. He's doing so much damage. Finally, he's been taken down. But what an amazing play by Domaytoe Stalash. Taking down pretty much everybody else who were up there pushing the cart. So at least there's something out of that. But the sentry is down for the count. And now it's all in the hands of the engineer main himself. to build it up. Jortland is trying to get it up just in time, but he doesn't have the medal, and that is the prime time for the Finnish team to actually get this one pushed.
It's the same story once again, like Cake dies again on the respawn just from the Litrunger there getting like killed, and like the second suicide wave, they do get Jordan down, Toast dies as well by the wayside, and One Flower still does survive. He does remain unforced, the left dies to Skyper.
Oh my god, that Skyper is still alive! How is this man alive for such a long time? Finally getting shot down, not before One Flower has to use his Uber. He has to get away, but he doesn't! He gets shot in the foot by Oli!
Rip them ankles. Like, usually you just, you know, like you get denied a bit there, you want to be like out as a medic, you just look at them, I just don't want to be in this position right now, but then the flank just comes in and delays you, and then you are just in an open sniper sideline, and that is just the nightmare for a medic who wants to back out.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look too promising right now. Gauss on 100%, nice equal round number. One Flower just started building his. Cake is a good position here. Tobbs is popping his buff banner, or whatever the hell that trumpet is. But he's waiting for a good opportunity to use it. Most of the players are moving into the connector there. Skyper is leading the charge. Tubbs is waiting for an opportunity as Battalion's back up with that black box. He's going to be pretty much unkillable. He's popping it on the team, but nobody's really using it. Rap is in a lot of trouble right now. He's running away. Uber has been used by Gauss to chase off some players, but they're not getting any kills out of this. Quite on the contrary, they're losing players.
Well, because they can just play passive. They're not pressured by any card being forward. The card's not forward. They're being pressured by a Spy with a knife though into the back, so even if the front is not so dangerous for the Danish team, so dangerously close, you know, the Spy is because he's just going to reap them off from behind. Skyper still spawn capping. You don't walk out of that spawn if they haven't capped yet, team.
Oh, just as just disrespect at that point. And that's such a rookie mistake as well. Now Skyper is moving in forward. Nice Uber advantage for One Flower, however. They're going to take down Jortland's sentry, but the Uber is ready to take down Skyper and the rest. They're deciding not to use it. They're hoarding it. They're trying to use it for when the time is right. However, Ollie takes down Dr. Phil. That might have been a misplay on the side of Denmark. They're using it now, and Gauss is out of position. He's going to get his Uber charge just in time, but not before. Diddy claims Raipe. Now the red team is running away. They don't have the players. They don't have the sentry, and the medic is all by himself.
This fight can still go either way. They lose some players that are like on long respawn waves. That is really bad, because they could have reclaimed the ground because the card is still far back. They should maybe try to play a bit more about the card being a bit far back, and maybe the Finnish team pushing a bit too far ahead, but then again it's really strong just aggression onto the medic, forcing him passively and then re-pushing with the Uber advantage once again. There's actually Juno onto the top, like onto balcony already, and there's some huge soldier showdown. Wow, but well, Tops does win with the help of the Lash. They're actually going to equal something out. They have 5.5 minutes to push this last one, Jake.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of time, and Denmark is in a rough patch. At this point, they have control of the windows, and most of the blue team is pushing in through the bottom. They do have the Uber charge now, much better than One Flowers. One Flower's gonna get spammed out, and so is Diddy. They're just chasing down. Here comes Dr. Phil, goes to the health pad. He's gonna go down, however. He's just running away at that point. He's too scared of that Pyromane. He's alive, and this may be what is the saving grace of Denmark at this time. That respawn timer is just so painful for the defensive team. Bloodis takes down Thalash, but Bloodis is all by himself there. Skyper's taking down the sentry pretty much by himself. Yunus jumping in, taking down One Flower again, and the card is so dangerously close.
Yeah, but they're losing some players, and right now there's just Soldier and wow, jumping in and killing like the engineer and the Spy that was on the point, trying to snack it forward. They still do have the positions right now though. The offensive well, Playstance is on the top left on their balcony. Goss healing the heavy. He's just 450 there right now, getting every kill possible. Just killing them on the side flank, and there is nothing to be achieved here for the defensive team anymore, as there comes a 1-1 tie up, I heard. Easy game.
Easy for ants, as some Finnish fans might say, but well, they're equalizing this, and they're putting it into a match point for Finland. Denmark now not only just kind of holding on to the ledge of semifinals. They still have a chance. There's still one finger holding on to it, but Finland is just trying to pry it off with everything they've got. They've got the DM, they've got the cohesion, and well, they've got the luck on their side as well. But we're going to take a quick look at the logs, as we usually do for all those 3 fans that do look on it. Seems seems that Finland will attack first in the next round, but the logs do not lie. This time around, Thalash kind of shut down by the enemy team. It seems that Finland is on top this time around, Ollie with 20 kills, Juno on at 19. The soldier main is showing some work, then was Divi with 16 as well. Both medics kind of equal in terms of Ubers, both 7, but Gauss has a much better heal ratio than One Flower, pretty much dwarfing him by 4,000 difference. And Gauss also dying only once this game, whereas One Flower has caught himself on the respawn queue 8 times. So it has been a rough situation right now for Denmark, and they are now in a dangerous position.
Medic lives matter, Jake. I'm pretty sure you can agree. 10% like percentage difference also do matter, because this 10% play there onto the last point in the last push that worked was actually the difference, because that was the exact same scenario except for that like Uber percentage onto both teams like in the first round, because in that phase where the Finnish team just pushed aggressively onto the top spot into the high ground, they had 20% or something, or like they had 10% advantage once they reached that area. And the round before, One Flower just got his Uber, like in that split second, he was on 97 or something. So he actually got that, and they could defend that very well. But the Finnish team is stronger, I feel like, at actually pinpoint pushing, like pushes forward essentially like Uber percentages. Maybe the Danish team just needs to once again work a bit more about Thalash and actually use the time that they have on this card being far back.
For sure, but we are now, Domaytoe, going back into the game. This is the third round of Peel Upward between Finland and Denmark. Right now, Denmark fighting for their lives on a match point for Finland into ETF2L Season 6 of the Nations Cup. We're obviously here on KritzKast, powered by Manco.store, as we're getting ready for the third round here on a sunny day, on the sunny cliffs of Peel Upward. And now, this time around, Finland's gonna defend first. They're gonna decide because they've got a better time, I believe. And, well, no, wait. Finland is attacking this time. So they want to set up the time. They want to see what they can do. Denmark is going to defend first. And let's see if my famed bowl sack is going to work out yet again. I mean, by the time, I think people will be looking for those demos with parachutes. I mean, they're such an easy target.
The main problem is really that once you're in, you're not instantly killed. You can at least get like 3 stickies, and that's more than enough, because it's so much damage into a clustered area where a lot of people are that are not so healthy. Even though they are buffed, like there's also some stuff happening from the front, you know, you can take damage from both flanks. And we have to see though, as there comes a sync up rocket jump there, just a little skip jump from Juno, getting into position. I hear a pyro jetpack ringing out, but there comes Skyper. He's dead!
He's still alive, but he's gonna get shot down! I mean, it's still effective, like I said, it's a bicycle with 4 wheels, but still, I mean, it's quite effective. It's a gunshot ride, ladies and gentlemen. This is 2012 all over again. And the card is now dead in its tracks, stopped by the force of the red team here. Denmark is putting themselves strong on the map, but this is not over yet. There's a lot of time to work with because the timer has not been set up by Finland. Dragon's now jumping in, but so is Skyper. He's looking for more. He's gonna get, a rocket to the face.
Well, he gets forced. He uses on the sniper, saving everyone. Strong play from him, and there's still some cleanup work to do onto the front flank. They do that, but Mignano does get a step there into the back lines onto Cake, and actually does survive that somehow. Anyway, so, well, you know, like, Skyper's a bit scary just jumping in. He's like, as you said, like on this, wheelchair basically, because it carries them forward. But they're scared of this Uber Jake, like they just walk passive already.
Yeah, I mean, they just walk forward. That's what you do. You have the Uber charge, you have to worry about anything. Gauss is just flashing literally everybody, even the engineer, just random engineer passing through. Yeah, he's just gonna catch a flash as well. Ryobay is now moving forward, trying to gain some ground. He's gonna take so much damage to Phil. He's gonna finish off the kill as well. That's a good pick as well. No more demo men on the red side. Ooh, Ollie almost catching his side, but he's gonna catch a nice headshot onto Tom, and he's looking for more as well. Juno's also aggressive. He's gonna take down Sentry Gun by Yortland. It is looking very promising. Such an aggressive display by Finland.
Demo and soldier down translates to we don't want to hold second. That's not going to work out, not this time. Thalash also dies there from the front jump from Juno saying, you know, like, hold this position, you know, because you die. Ollie does die though. as a retaliation frag. It doesn't matter that much because the second cap just gets capped right. It doesn't even get capped right now, but they're still in this aggressive forward play stance. Yuno also gets killed there by the cliff, just by the air blast. And well, Jake, right now it's actually going to see like what happens right now, because there's a lot of downtime usually in that time.
However, Tobbs has not been spotted yet. He's hiding. He's like a rogue himself. He's taking a form of McNando and Toast. He's waiting for a good opportunity to strike. He sees nobody. There's so many he gets Ollie though. Easy pick. He's been spotted now. He's trying to fight it out, but no, Yuno's gonna take him down. Uber's coming out on the point in the meantime. However, the sentry has been saved. Nope, not anymore. By Ubers are exchanged, cars slowly moving forward. Denmark is in shambles.
Well, deny card help someone. Like, this is usually what you call, just walk forward, Pill. I always call him Pill already. Like, Dr. Phil denies them from coming in, but there's no flank anymore up because they actually tried to do something onto the medic and something happens. Divi does get shot down there, and it's actually not going to work out for the Danish team just defending this point.
Skyper is getting really mad, and if he gets mad, he gets a lot of kills. He's moving in forward. Neither medic really has the Uber charge, but what blue team has is the player advantage, which is gonna come in crucial. They're just gonna strong arm this sentry down. They're chasing down the rest. Red players are kind of sacrificing themselves now. Thash gonna finish off the job onto Dragons, but not before the medic or the sniper really goes down. However, one flyer survives this one with a 100% charge. He has to wait for Dr. Phil. He also has some friends up top in the window area, but 3 points so far, only taking 3 minutes and 27 seconds for Finland to push. And well, they are still going in forward.
Yeah, they're actually getting forced onto the low ground by the Pyro, and it's probably going to be almost over once they reach the top furthest point. Right now there's still just one flower standing there. They do lose tops on the side flank there, and Riper is still hiding. He's probably trying to repush this. Natos does go down, so no instant cheeky scout coming in. Toast tries to stab something. He's there in that position. Oh no, Cake also, you know, just putting the cherry on the cake, and well, the flower essentially dies as well. Just everything dies, Jake.
Just everything dies like nature, you know, circle of life and all that stuff. Here comes McNando and Dragons taking down 2 for themselves as well. One flyer is respawning, but Gauss a much faster respawn. He's gonna have that Uber charge much faster as well. However, top is still taken by red players. However, the blues are not too worried about it just yet. They're moving in through the tracks. Ripe is now making his way forward into the staircase. Turn around, Diddy! He's not gonna turn around in time. Ripe is gonna survive this one and claim the windows area for his team. Dr. Phil low on health. He's waiting for those heals from one flower, but there's a lot of players down for red, and I don't think they can come back from this unless some miracle play happens.
Yeah, 40% disadvantage as well. They won't even get anything, even if they survive. They need to do huge amounts of work with their respawns. It's only one flower up though. Can't do enough damage. There's a medic only being up. 5 minutes, it is 5 minutes and 7 seconds, and that is obviously the fastest time we have seen tonight onto Upward, so definitely putting the Finnish team in a very strong shape for the third round of Upward essentially. So if they win this right now, then they're going to 2-0 win this playoff stage game basically, and they're going to be in as well the quarterfinal, that is, and they're going into the semis, as the Danish team will probably have to wave goodbye to this Nations Cup.
Yeah, but don't write them off just yet, you know. When desperation kicks in, hero plays happen. We've seen this before, and it has happened, although the chance for that is quite unlikely, seeing how Finland is playing tonight. They are doing everything right, they're not making many mistakes. Gauss is pretty much immortal, and he's not dying much at all, aside from a couple of, you know, lucky shots there. Some unfortunate timing and some unfortunate positioning, but Gauss is just staying alive, and that's what's keeping the rest of the team alive as well. Skyper, complete aggression coming out of him, and, well, 5 minutes and 7 seconds is definitely a beatable time, though by how much of a margin, I am not sure. It's not gonna be large by my estimation, and Denmark has a tall task in front of them now.
Danish team also did some gambles there, which actually allowed that to be such a fast time. Gambles are not bad when you're like onto the back foot, but they actually just reclaimed like their strong position. There comes a suicide wave though, getting a lot of damage into a fully buffed heavy though, and he just reaps everyone off basically. So that is the first suicide wave just completely denied. And once again, like, they do these gambles, and well, sometimes that works, but in essence, you also have to watch out what you want to do have as a stagnant strategy. And having Rifle just deny everyone is a very stagnant strategy in my books.
Yeah, your one flower actually walking on the spawn. They know they can't waste any time. They're popping Uber immediately. They don't want to risk anything at this point. Dragons is out there. Oh, up goes Gauze and goes key downs. Now, just not much has happened aside from blue team losing most of their players in that push. They tried to go for the sentry, they didn't get it. They tried to go for the players, they didn't get them either. And now Skyper is just trying to chase off one flower. He catches a pill for his trouble. He's so low on health. Basically, a sneeze will kill him, and a sneeze did kill him. And that sneeze was Raipe's. That man is contagious.
Well, Thomas just all across the map. Not the most fun thing to die as a medic. They have to walk forward right now. It's their best bet. They have 3.5 minutes. Basically have to roll them from this point on right now to the last point. They don't even have time to wait so much. Also considering that Goss will have Uber probably if they don't push. Mignando though just puts a pin into the backs of the offensive team trying to push this in as he just gets one flower on the respawn.
Now, not a good situation from Denmark. They're bleeding a lot of time on the first point, and there's 3 more to go for them. 95% onto Gauze, and one flower just respawn, rejoining his team. It's kind of a desperation time, but that desperation is losing them players in stupid situations. Toast is taking down Raipe, so at least that anti-aircraft gun is down, but I don't think much else can be done here. Thash trying to do some work on the flank. He's looking for some more kills up top on the balcony there. He's not gonna be able to find any. Jordan is now just sticking on the card. He's gonna stick on it, but all he finds another kill on the one flower. He's just not staying alive for the life of him right now, and Gauze is just popping his Uber just because he can, and just because there's a lot more kills waiting to be taken. However, Tobbs is gonna catch Skyper off guard. The sentry has been zapped back. It seems that Finnish team will decide to make a nice defensive hold on to second with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. That timer, that window of opportunity for Denmark is slimming down. Still not impossible, but it's getting damn near close to it. And now they have to stick all the players on the card, Domaytoe.
Well, it's such a comfortable perch, honestly, that the defensive team is sitting on. They literally only have to deny them for like 10 or 20 seconds on each point, and it's probably going to be impossible. Phil also dies there on the front. I don't want to point out garbage time too early, but they're just getting completely picked off there by the wayside as well on the flank, because the Finnish team is just completely hyping themselves up, and it's probably going to be the ceiling last frags to pet the stats right now. Look at how aggressive Skype is just pounding everything, and Mignando gets a step in that disarray of actions as well.
Yeah, Mignando's just slowing down. One flower is not having a good day. He's being mowed one time after another, and I mean, he's nice on display, but not much else here. Tobbs getting reflected back all the way. 1.5 minutes to go. 3 more points to cap. Here, one flyer gonna go down again to Yurnu this time. And at this point, I think both teams have realized that this game is now over, with Denmark losing over Finland 3-0 on Koth product, and then 2-1 after just a strenuous battle on Peel Upward. 1 minute left to go. I'm just gonna do a quick roundup of the poll that we did in the chat by aggro. We've asked you guys, who do you think was the MVP of this game? And it seems that Mignando, by a large margin, has been voted the best player.
Well, it's a spy, it's a pick class, obviously.
Making flash plays like a striker on a football team.
I just want to quickly call to one flower. One flower, just don't leave the spawn anymore. It's not worth it anymore. Like, he just gets killed constantly. It's a bit disheartening to watch, honestly. Well, it's basically the M only right now. I actually want to point out that the Danish team is rethinking very likely of their defensive play stance, where they did dangerous gambles that were not necessary in any way, and that meant we have a really bad time and a really fast time to defend against, and well, that crumbles down, you know, Jake, quite massively, and we can just see the aftermath of that right now. And Mignando won, once again, I can tell you why. First of all, he has a spreadsheet page posted from the Russian Discord where his decloak spots also, obviously. Second of all, he just got an awful lot of steps. He just denied Cake whenever he spawned 3 times in a row, and on every round on upward. And he just got so much pressure in once again. And as you said, it's just a striker on football. It's very good to look flashy, and the deaths are usually not on cam.
Yeah. Usually not, but the logs do not lie. And of course, like I said, Spy and Sniper are pretty much the strikers of a football team, with the medic being the goalie. So if you have good strikers and the goalie is not having a good time or a good day, you're going to get a lot of goals and you're going to win the match, just like Finland did tonight.